You have this proposal out today. It's a wealth tax. It's very interesting.
Yep.
It's not income, right? So incomes are flows.
Yep.
You know, money coming into people a year, and that's usually how we tax things. Wealth is sitting there. It's a stock. It's a thing that's sitting there, and a wealth tax is a novel idea in the American context. It's on the very richest households with $50 million or more in assets. It's about 75,000 households. It would bring in a lot of money, $275 billion a year. So this is a lot. There's also a tax for billionaires. Here's my question to you. The first thing I hear when I look at this and talk to other people is they're going to get out of it. If you pass this and you try to go to Wilbur Ross's assets, or you try to come after Donald Trump's assets, or any of these people, they are going to find a way to get out of it. What do you say to them?
I say, you think I didn't see that one coming? So the way that this is written is to say, first of all, going to tax all your assets wherever located around the globe. So if you were planning to move them to Switzerland or some island, doesn't make any difference. They are all going to be taxed. And the second part of it is we're going to build right into the administration of this tax that it has a very high rate of monitoring, of auditing the rich people on the ultra-millionaire tax. So we're going to be out there counting them and watching them. And the third part of it is, you know, once you identify these assets, it's actually not that complicated and hard, because unlike some other places that tried to build this, this one isn't going to have a bunch of exceptions. This one says all your assets, wherever located, and we're going to keep counting. And you're going to have to pay, if you have more than $50 million in assets, this is the ultra-rich, you're going to have to pay 2% a year of that amount over $50 million. And here's the deal about the money, though. I want to underline this part. It's to use that money to build opportunity for the rest of America. So this is the kind of money, think about this, over the next decade we could produce just short of $3 trillion. That's the kind of money where we could pay for childcare, high-quality childcare for all of our kids. It's the kind of money where we could do real relief on student loan debt. It's the kind of money where we could make a real start on a Green New Deal. It's the kind of money where we could bring down the cost of health care. It's the kind of money where you give somebody else in this economy a chance, a government that's not just working for the tippy-top, a government that starts to work for the rest of America.
So there's been this, I think the Overton window, as they call it, the sort of center of this conversation has really shifted. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez had floated a 70% top marginal rate. You've come out with this wealth tax idea, which has not, which doesn't have a history in the U.S., unlike the top marginal rate.
No, this is brand new.
It's brand new. Although I will note to people out there who own a home, you're paying a wealth tax right now called property taxes. So it does exist in America. I guess the question is, there is a sense that this is crossing some line, right? You see this in Davos where they're laughing at this idea, and you see it on Trump TV where they say this is the death of the American dream, that there's something un-American about coming after the billionaires and their millions. And what do you say to that?
So let me think about this in terms of just basic fairness. Look, I believe in a progressive income tax, but basic fairness. Compare two people. One has inherited $500 million and has paintings and yachts and airplanes and brings in $50,000 a year in doing some work. The other one, public school teacher, doesn't have anything in savings and makes $50,000 a year. Currently in America, they get taxed exactly the same. That's a tax system that is really helping the rich and the powerful.
Wait a second, though. I don't want to get too weedsy, but the person who's sitting on $500 million has some passive income coming off those that they're going to pay some taxes on.
Not if they have paintings, not if they have...
Okay,
yes. But the only point I'm trying to make...
and they have all their money in slippers and paintings.
Exactly right. Exactly. Yeah, he has it all in slippers. But the real point is, when we're only taxing income, we're taxing two people who may have the same income, but are in wildly different economic circumstances. And here's the deal. Think about the lead up to this. Rich folks, for a long time, have been pushing Washington. They've been lobbying Washington. They've been making campaign contributions. They've been doing bought and paid for experts to get all of the rules just tilted a little more and a little more and a little more in their favor. That's how they've amassed this wealth. And that's how it is that it has gotten so wildly out of proportion. I understand not everybody's going to make the same. I get that. But we are now in an America where 0.1% has about the same wealth as 90% of America. And here's the deal. 40% of America today can't come up with $400 in an emergency.
And that's why folks are in the red line.
That's right. That is not an economy that is sustainable, and it's not a democracy that's sustainable.